Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Championship Debate, guys. So with only 12 games left of this year's Championship, it is getting very interesting now. So where I have to of course start out with, guys, is of course the top three, and it is incredibly close at the top at the moment, guys. So of course Burnley currently sit top with Hull in second and then Middlesbrough in third. In my opinion, that will be the top three this season, but not in that particular order. So at the moment Burnley are currently top, but Hull have a game in hand on them, and then Middlesbrough have 2 games in hand on Burnley. So it's very interesting at the moment, guys. So Borough at the weekend, obviously yesterday, they comfortably took down Fulham. A fantastic performance from Adoma, and they managed to beat Fulham 2-0 in the end. A very comfortable performance from Middlesbrough in the end. Very comfortable indeed. And then Burnley were of course victorious over Bolton. A bit of a struggle in that one. They had to overcome a couple of things, but thanks to Andre Gray, and he now has 18 for the season. That means that Burnley managed to walk away with a victory over Bolton. But a team that did actually stutter at the weekend was Hull, who were left frustrated with a 0-0 draw against Sheffield Wednesday. So not the result that Hull have been looking for, especially as Burnley and Borough manages to pick up the 3 points. In my opinion, guys, this is what I think, and I'd love to get what you guys think. Whether you support these clubs or not, I'd love to get what you think about how you think the top 3 will finish. In my opinion, this is how it's going to be. It's going to be Middlesbrough in first place. In second place, I'm saying it's going to be Burnley at this point. And in third, I'm saying Hull. That's just my predictions for this time at the moment, guys. Obviously, anything could change, and that's just my opinion, but I'd love to get what you guys will think will be the top 3 in the comments down below. I'm really interested in seeing who you think will make the top 3. So the reason I think Borough, I think they have the best chance to win the league this season. Their players are clicking at the moment. They're really playing some excellent stuff, and of course they do have the 2 games in hand. So if they do win those matches anyway, they will go back to the top of the table. And Burnley's form lately has been absolutely staggering, which is why I think they'll make it into the top 2, just ahead of Hull City. And the reason for that, obviously, Burnley, I think they were unbeaten in the last 12 matches. I think they're unbeaten in the league for 2016, which is absolutely staggering. I think in the form table at this moment, Burnley are top of it by far. They've been absolutely astounding. So that's, in my opinion, what's going to be the top 3. So comment below what you think the top 3 will be. I'll be very interested to know. And then, guys, the team that is just below the top 3 at this point in time is Brighton and Hove Albion. So at the moment, they seem to be quite stop-start at this point in time. I think they're playing, it is Leeds that they're playing on Monday night, and I think that Leeds match will be a very big match for them indeed, because lately they've been stuttering quite recently. Obviously they had an awful performance against Cardiff, but then they seemed to bounce back with a 4-0 demolition of Bristol City the other week. So I think that this Leeds match will be a very big match indeed. The reason I think that is because if they do beat Leeds on Monday, that will mean they will go 11 points. They'll be 11 points into the playoffs. So that really, I think that Brighton will make the playoffs come the end of the season. They've been very stop-start, but if they win this match against Leeds, they'll be 11 points into the playoffs. I think that the top 3 is just one step beyond them, especially automatic promotion for Brighton. But I think the playoffs, I do think Brighton will make the playoffs. 2 teams that I'm not really settled on making the playoffs at the moment are Derby and Sheffield Wednesday as well. 2 teams who, on their day, they are capable of beating anyone in their league. They can absolutely roll over anyone. They got 2 fantastic teams, and they play some really great stuff on their day, but lately they've really dropped off. And I can't help but feel that both those clubs must be nervously looking over their shoulder. With teams that are looking to come in for the pounce on the playoffs, they must be nervously looking over their shoulders. I mean, you've got teams like Cardiff and Birmingham who are right on their tails at this moment, not to mention Ipswich, who are just behind as well, and a bit further back teams like Preston, QPR, and Nottingham Forest, teams like that who are just a bit further back, maybe an outside chance of making it, but the 3 teams that are just below them, they got to really be nervous at the moment. So if you are a Derby fan or a Sheffield Wednesday fan, comment in the comments down below, what do you think will happen? Do you think you'll be able to ride this out and make the playoffs? Because in my opinion, I don't think automatic will be an option for you 2 this year. Somehow, if you went on a staggering run from now on, it could be, but honestly, the playoffs is the most realistic thing for the time being, and that at the moment, I've got to say, you must be looking nervously over your shoulders. Obviously, you're 2 fantastic teams, but there's teams that are coming in for the kill this year. And in my opinion, Birmingham missed an absolutely massive opportunity to go within 1 point of the playoffs with a game in hand, had they beaten QPR at the weekend. But they didn't manage to do that. They actually managed to lose 2-0 in the end to QPR, and that was a major setback for them. I mean, I couldn't believe that. But one team that did actually take their chance was Cardiff against my team, Preston North End. They were the deserved winners over us, and a 2-1 victory in the end, which sees them go into 7th place now. So Cardiff fans, let me know in the comments down below. They've crept up from nowhere really as well. They've come from mid-table and now into the playoff contention. I think I had a couple of Cardiff fans commenting that weren't too happy with their manager. I think on the second championship debate video I did, I think I had a couple of Cardiff fans commenting saying that they weren't too happy with Russell Slade. Has that perception changed now that you're inches within the playoffs? And do you think come the end of the season you'll be in the playoffs? I'd be very interested to know. Same for Birmingham fans as well. I do think that you missed a massive opportunity, but you still do have one game in hand on the teams in the playoffs, so you could go 1 point just outside the playoffs, so there's still a massive opportunity there. And then to the bottom of the table, guys, where it's not looking too pretty for these teams. So obviously Charlton at the weekend, they were so bitterly disappointed to lose 3-4 in the end. After a Sonogo hat-trick, you'll have thought that when you score 3 goals, you expect to win the match, but things at the moment just are not going Charlton's way. Obviously, with the ownership problems that they've got going on at the moment, and all their fans protesting at the moment, they've really not been helped by their performances on the pitch lately, and losing 3-4 to Reading is just absolutely... it's just demoralising for their team, and honestly, I can't see Charlton staying up. So in my opinion, Charlton are down. So I'll be very interested to hear from some Charlton fans. Do you think you've got any fight left in you, or do you think that you're preparing for life in League One? And then for Bolton lately have shown that they got a little bit of fight. Obviously, they lost at the weekend to Burnley thanks to 2 Andre Gray goals, but they did lose that. But their fixture list just looks hard. I mean, if you're looking at the bottom 3, I'm thinking that Bolton, they might have an outside chance of making it. In my opinion, it will be an absolute miracle if Bolton stayed up. The reason for that being, they've still got to play 7 teams who are in the top half of the table. So, out of their 12 remaining fixtures, they've still got to play 7 teams who are in the top half of the table. So, if Bolton were to stay up now, that would be a close to a miracle, in my opinion. Since where they are at the moment, and how cut adrift they were a couple of weeks ago, considering the calibre of teams they've still got to play, it really will be an uphill battle for Bolton. And then the same goes for Rotherham really as well. I mean, their fixture list, each team in the bottom half of each team in the bottom 3 at the moment, all the odds seem to be stacked against them. I mean, if you look at Rotherham's next 4 games, their next 4 games, they play Sheffield Wednesday, Middlesbrough, Derby, and then Ipswich. So if they... But at the same time, I say that they are only 3 points away from safety, which isn't the case for Charlton and Bolton, sorry. So obviously, the teams that are just outside the relegation zone at the moment, MK Dons are nervously hovering just outside it at the moment, and the teams then just above MK Dons are Fulham, Bristol City, and Blackburn, who are just hovering just above that relegation zone at the moment, but could definitely be dragged down into it come the end of the season. So guys, that will wrap it up for this video of the championship debate. Let me know in the comments down below any of the questions that I post to you guys. So like I said, it's getting very interesting now, so I'll be very interested to know from you if you're a fan supporting a club who is going for the playoffs or is currently in a playoff place. I'll be very interested to know where you think you'll finish, or if you're down at the bottom at the moment of the table, what do you think your prospects are, especially with the fixtures that you've got coming up in the next couple or so days. I'll be very interested to know. So that's what I want you guys to comment. Where do you think you will finish come the end of the season? Now we're getting so close to it, and it really is getting tight in all areas of the table. So that will wrap it up for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, make sure you do leave a like. Check out all the links in the description down below. Make sure you leave a comment on any of the questions that I post to you guys in today's episode. But other than that, guys, I will see you all in the next one.